In Pauline Hanson's first address to the National Press Club yesterday, the One Nation leader said Australia must be a monoculture, raising the ire of Labor and multicultural groups. Well, joining us to discuss today on The Debrief, Rosie Walton from Triple M's Mick in the Morning in Melbourne and Nick Hayes from Media Stable in Adelaide. Hello to you both. There's quite a bit to unpack here. Rosie, I'll start with you. Pauline Hanson's claims about migration, I mean, they're not exactly accurate when you consider net overseas migration has actually fallen over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's very true. I hadn't thought of that aspect of it, but she's quite emboldened at the moment, and I just find her language very divisive and quite problematic. And you have to think of your everyday life. It's just preposterous. So I'd have to find a new family members, new GP, new dentist. It's just every interaction that you have. I love living in Melbourne for its diversity, and I just think it's preposterous. And good luck to the Socceroos on the weekend, because there's 15 people of different cultural and ethnic background. So it's just a silly thing to say.
Well, Nick, I mean, I read someone who described it as that speech really punched down a lot of Australians. Others called it a dystopian vision. I mean, the fact is we are multi-ethnic, we are multi-faith. That is the current state of Australia. Can we be monocultural as she's describing it?
Yeah, Sally, I don't like what she had to say. I think multiculturalism has actually worked in Australia. We are one big part of a mixture of different races and people right across from the globe. It is a big part of who Australians are. But her idea around talking monoculture will hit home with a lot of the people that she has been convincing, or at least pulling along the line towards One Nation, and it will hit home this. So I think it is something that we've got to be conscious of and wary of with her. I mean, she's been saying it for 30 years. It looks like she'll be saying it for another 20 or 30 more.
Yeah, it seems straight out of the playbook also with the others in other countries that we've seen. The UK, for example, at the moment, it is certainly out of that playbook. Let's move on. The head of the country's top science academy is vowed to complain about a T-shirt. Now, it's at Myer at the moment on sale, and it says, "I'm too pretty to do maths." Dr. Cathy Foley has really, got a bit of a problem with this. She says it sends the wrong message to women and the world. I mean, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek, isn't it, Rosie? Like, does she have a point? It is just a T-shirt.
It does, yeah. I mean, irony sometimes doesn't work, unfortunately, but I would think that this is a little bit in that space. I think it's good to call out discrimination if you need to. I mean, ironically, we are talking about it and getting people to work in the STEM fields, so that is a positive, I guess, from this. But why, I'm not good at maths myself, but why can't you have the Venn diagram of pretty and mathematician? So, I don't know. I think it's good to have these topics up to get people to not be discouraged from entering maths or science, but I think in this case the T-shirt is a little bit just a bit of silliness.
I took it as very tongue-in-cheek, but Nick, I mean, are you a slogan T-shirt wearer? Like, would this be something you'd consider maybe wearing one day?
Well, I've just understood now, Sally. Well, I'm no good at math at the moment, so because I'm too pretty for it. But yes. This is tongue-in-cheek. This is fantastic, and I tell you what, whoever designed it is doing a great job getting it so a little bit more extra attention and care. But I mean, if you really read into what on people's T-shirts, I've got a T-shirt that says "Save Ferris." Ferris Bueller. I get lots of comments on that, but I don't want to necessarily save him. But yeah, come on, let's have a little bit of fun with it.
Like, on the flip side, it shows a confident culture of people who sort of can be out there and have a slogan that is having a bit of a laugh, and we need confidence these days in the next generation. Look, what about this? The craze of drinking matcha lattes, very popular in a lot of inner city cafes. It's caused prices to rise and even shortages in Japan. I mean, this is a serious issue, guys. One travel reporter is even concerned, asking a question: is there a problem with stealing someone else's food culture and sort of reinterpreting it? We do that a lot in Australia, a lot of our foods, because we have a multicultural society, and then we have sort of an Australian slant on a lot of dishes. Rosie, what's your take on this? Like, for example, pineapple on pizza.
Well, I don't mind that occasionally, but my partner's big into his matcha, but he was horrified when I actually bought proper matcha like that and mixed it properly from the Japanese grocer, because he said, oh, it tastes a bit like dirt. He didn't realise that there's sort of our McDonald's version of matcha, which is very much sweetened, and the proper ceremonial matcha. So he was in for a big shock. But I think my weekly shop or meals that I would make would be very boring if we were not to culturally appropriate anything anymore. Taco Tuesday, everyone, like what's happening with that? I like my tacos.
Yeah, don't rule out Taco Tuesday. It'll just be a downer in the start of the week, which we don't need. Nick, what about you? I mean, there's many dishes I can think of. Even sushi here in Australia, we often put like schnitzel and mayonnaise in it, which I'm not quite sure, is what you find when you're in Tokyo, for example.
Yeah, look at the dim sim, the humble dim sim. That's not Chinese. That's Australian. That's our cultural appropriation of Chinese food. It's awesome. And look, we like a little bit of mixture and mix it up a bit. So one little tip for everyone: if you've got a spaghetti bolognese, put a bit of curry powder in. Ooh. Oh, that is golden.
Okay.
That is golden. And if I've misappropriated, I'm sorry, but it tastes great.
No, Nick, we don't just get your views. We get some cooking tips. I'll give it a go. Rosie will too. Thank you both for your time. It's something different, something unusual, nice.
Vegemite.
Thanks for your time today, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sally.